Greetings from 2013. So, I've been incredibly lax in doing my video blogs, and for this I sincerely apologize, but... Things. Okay, so, it's March, and right this very second, as we speak, snow flurries are just right there, out my window. Which is kind of cool. I mean, it's not gonna stick or anything, but, you know. Still, you guys have 80s, and I have snow, so... Right. So, things to do. So I'm graduating in May, which means I will have 3 official post-high school degrees, that have gotten me, well, nothing yet. So here's hoping for positive things there. I'm not sure if I'm gonna go to, like, the big graduation with, like, 1,500 people in caps and gowns and all that crap yet. The writing program does, like, a smaller ceremony that day, and I may just go to that. I don't know yet. Way too far down the road, like, way there. So, for those of you who follow me on Facebook, which better be all of you, I had this epiphany the other night. I was laying in bed, trying desperately to sleep, because I had to be up in, like, 5 hours. And, of course, I couldn't sleep. And so this idea came to me. And it was one of those moments where you have an idea, but, like, it's the whole book. And that's never happened. I've never, ever had a whole book come to me before at one time, ever. So, I promptly got out my phone and typed the entire thing into the notepad function on my phone, which let me tell you how much fun that is, because that involves the phone and this motion. So for those of you who can't, it's wait, whole book. Super fun, super fun. But once I got it out of my head, I was able to sleep, and we were good. So I met with my editor, I don't know, a week ago or something, and told her that since I had read that Dystopia is, like, not getting published because there's so much of it, and there's too much of it in the market, and it's oversaturated, and blah, 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 and that I really want to get published. That's, like, my whole life's aspiration, is to be published. So, if Dystopia is not being published, then I'm going to write something that's more contemporary, in hopes that I can get published, because I want to be published and not unpublished. So I have put pause on my other piece for the moment, which is fine because it was kind of getting on my nerves anyway, and outlined this other book, which I don't outline either. This whole book is a completely new experience. So when you outline a book, you basically, okay, so people tend to write books in sections, like Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, like a play. And so what you do is you go Act 1, in which blah, blah, blah happens, and then under that, you put Scene 1, Scene 2, Scene 3, Scene 4, Scene 5, and what all happens. And then Act 2, and lather, rinse, repeat. So I did this, and I typed this whole thing, and it's like 3 pages in Word, like single-spaced, and it's, you know, in this scene, this character will go and meet this character, and in this next scene, she's gonna go get in the fight with this person, and all this other stuff. And, sorry, I'm sniffly, it's an allergy day. This indecisive weather thing is just not working. Anyway, so when you write this outline, some people do it differently. Some people outline, like, the whole book. Some people do just, like, this is what's going to happen in Act 1, this is Act 2, and this is Act 3. So I did a really, really detailed outline, like, scene by scene by scene by scene. And I sent it to my editor the other day. It was just like, hey, what do you think? She's like, well, I think you need to make this part, like, a little bit, like, raise the stakes here, and this part you need to explain this more, and this, I really think you could go, like, way more intense. So I did. And I sent it to her again, and she's like, yes, this is it, go. So there's 31 scenes in this book, assuming that the outline holds, which it may or may not. And so my goal is to have all of the scenes written before I have to submit to her again, which is April 5th. Oh my god, that's not long. So I'm having to write, like, 3 and 4 scenes a day, to try to get that done. But so far it's fun. It's in a really... It's hard to write, because this book is about a girl who, her name is Zoe, and Zoe lives with her dad and stepmom, and there's a lot of problems at home. A lot of problems that I'm familiar with. Anyway, but Zoe is an only child, and she's just having a really rough time of it, and so she kind of has given up. And one night she's like 15. One night she's sitting around and she takes too many sleeping pills and ODs and damn near dies. And she kind of planned to, but she kind of didn't. And so when she's basically having her stomach pumped in real life, she's experiencing this whole vision in her head, in which she basically gets a second chance to kind of rethink her decision. And at first she's like, no, I don't want to go back to that life. I don't want to do that anymore. And by the end of the book, she realized that she's got something to live for, and she winds up like running away, and there's this big to-do with the cops and all this other crap. But it's awesome. And there's a ghost. It's not totally contemporary. There's a ghost, but it's fun. So anyway, I'm writing that, which is super fun, but God, it's depressing. Because the character, like, I'm writing the beginning scenes, and she's just so, like, she's really lonely. I mean, she's given up. And so I'm having to write this character who doesn't really care about much of anything anymore. And it's heartbreaking. So anyway, there's that. So in the event that any of you find me sounding kind of sad in the next few weeks, I promise it's not me. It's totally this character, because when you write a character, you have to like get inside their head and feel what they're feeling. And right now I'm feeling really depressed, but I'm not, but she is. It's the plague of a writer. Let's see here. Sorry, tea. Oh, so I'm reading this book, right? And it's not the sort of thing I ever read, but it's awesome. So the perks of my job is that we oftentimes get given free books by the publishers to read them, and then that way we can talk to customers about them and blah, blah, blah. So right now I'm reading Thomas Jefferson, The Art of Power. Now, this is an incredibly thick book. It's several pages of very tiny font. And I'm not super far into it yet, but it's awesome. Like, it occurred to me the other day, I was getting into an argument, a very heated argument, with a friend of mine about gay rights and things, and anyway, it occurred to me that, I don't know a whole lot about the Founding Fathers. I mean, I know who they were and kind of, like, what happened, but I don't know about them as people, and the beginning, like, 3 or 4, they kind of shaped everything, and what they believed has been, like, evolved, like, what people think, has evolved over the years to, so that we're going, oh, well, the Founding Fathers wanted it to be this way, but they kind of didn't. So anyway, I'm reading about Thomas Jefferson to find out what he thought, because he kind of was a big deal. But it's awesome. It's really good. Like, it reads kind of like a novel, which is fabulous, because most biographies kind of suck. So there's that. And my sister says that I'm supposed to talk about how I'm moving to Texas in 2 years, and I'm thinking maybe not. Here's the deal. So I've been sitting around a lot lately thinking about the fact that I'm not going home this year, and I kind of miss my family, and I miss thunderstorms. My God, I miss thunderstorms where, like, the windows are rattling and you're not sure if they're going to break, and the wind is blowing everywhere and fences are falling, and I miss that, because it doesn't do that here. I mean, it does that in upstate, but once the weather thing, like, gets over the heat of the city, it just, very boring. But we have hurricanes. Totally different. But yeah, I probably not. I don't know. I mean, 2 years is a long time from now. It's just that, like, now that I've gotten used to this, I don't know if I could go back to that. Like, I mean, yes, I spend over an hour on the train just to get to work, and then another hour coming home every day. But I get to spend that time, like, reading and writing and not sitting in traffic, you know, texting while driving being very, very illegal. You know, or shouting at the guy who cut me off or whatever. Like, I don't have to deal with that anymore. So, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I don't know that I'd really want to do that, but maybe. I'm not going to rule it out, but I'm not going to say yes either, because, I mean, God knows I'd like to get closer to my sister and that cute, cute baby of hers. Because that baby's cute. But I don't know, we'll see. I really miss Whataburger. I found a website last night for people who live in New York that are from Texas, and the nearest Whataburger is 900 miles away in Georgia. I don't think I can make a 900-mile road trip for a cheeseburger. Oh, but I want to. And a lot of stuff is in New Jersey, like Sonic and Dairy Queen and all that kind of stuff, but, oh, it's just so far. You gotta cross, like, 2 rivers to get there and take, like, several trains, and it's just so not worth it for steak fingers, but maybe. So yeah, that's kind of it. I redid the kitchen. I guess we could go on a tour, but we kind of did that already. Oh, board games. So Mike and I have gotten into really complicated board games. Specifically, Ticket to Ride has been our game lately, and it's a European game where you have oh god, I'll have to post a link. It's this big map of the US, and you draw these things that says you're supposed to connect, like, Dallas to Winnipeg or whatever. And so you're putting down your trains and things like that, but it's kind of like Uno, like you have to draw the colored trains to put down the ones, because you know what, just hang on. I can make this easier. See, this is what happens when I don't get my visual aids ready before the video. Okay, so Ticket to Ride. Let's see, it's got this little... Okay. So, it has this map on it, right? And each of the little pathways is a different color. So, like, that's an orange one, and that's a red one, and that's a green one, and whatever. So, you draw the cards, and you draw... Okay, so this is way more complicated than it looks doing this. So, like, these are pink cards, and they're yellow cards, and whatever. So, you draw the cards, and then each one of these is a certain number of little blocks, and so you have to have, like, 6 yellow ones to connect this, and... Anyway, but you're trying to connect cities, and your friends don't know which cities you're trying to connect, and then you're trying to get more points than them, because each one of the little paths, like, the longer it is, the more points it's worth. And every time we've played, I've kicked Mike's butt by, like, 2 points. So, victorious! So we got a new one, that is got maps of Switzerland and India, and it has, like, tunnels, and there's all these rules about tunnels and stuff like that, so we're gonna play that later. But anyway, there are these really fun, super awesome board games, and so my store, because it's, you know, awesome, has this thing where when we opened, a bunch of the game manufacturers gave us free copies of the games for the booksellers to check out, and that way you can play them and then talk to people about how awesome these games are. So we had one called Power Grid, which is the same idea as Ticket to Ride, but you have, like, cities, and you've got to build power plants and try to connect the power. And they're, like, $50 games. And we don't sell this game anymore. And I asked my boss last night if I could have it, and he said yes. So I totally got a free board game. For, like, free. And it's a $50 game, and I'm very excited. And all these games have expansions, like, so you can, like, with Ticket to Ride, you can buy, like, a map of Africa, and so you can build, like, different things, but they all use, like, the same pieces, so they're, like, half price. It's really fun. So yeah, we're doing that. And I'm excited I got a free game, because these things are not cheap. Like, Ticket to Ride was 50, 55, something like that. Yeah, I don't know. The price was on the other little dude, but anyway, super fun. So that's kind of, it in the land of me. I will be sending a box to Mia soon. But in the meantime, so I got her, there's a couple of books still at my store that I haven't picked up yet, which is why the box isn't coming yet. But we got a couple of things. This is just a sampling. We have Hello Kitty, Hello Spring. And it's got really cool things. And the reason that I bought this one is because it's got traditional Hello Spring things. So not just like, hello baby chicks, but hello picnic. It's like actual spring things. I'm so excited. And Hello Park. Anyway, I'm excited about that one. And then, you know, because I have to be educational, we got Spot Counts to 10. And Spot is counting, but they're like these really giant pictures. Like, this is the size of my hand. It's huge. And, but they're really cute. And see, it's got like socks and crayons. Because counting is important. And then I got I Love You Honey Bunny, which has these little 3D plushy squishy ears, and they've got wires on them, so you can kind of bend them and make them do like these whole bunny ear things. And it's fruity. Like, I love the way you hop and skip and jump up and down. Like, it's fruity, but I thought it was really cute. So, oh, wait. Oh, I'm falling. And then since I like to send a Sandra Boynton book with each box, we are getting opposites, since apparently Mia likes opposites. So, like, isn't it cute? Isn't it cute? And it whisper and shout and in and out. And look at the little turtle. The little turtle's out of his shell. He's naked. So you can put, like, naked and not naked. So, and it's like, anyway, I just love these illustrations, and they're so cute. So, new books coming from Mia, and there's a coloring book, so she can learn to color in the coloring books and not in the books. So, yeah, I guess that's about it. That's my video blog. I will totally do this blog properly, and I will post links to all this crap I'm talking about, so that in the event that you're interested in it, you can see what I'm talking about. Because I know I'm kind of crazy. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I'm sure there's something else I'm supposed to be talking about. But I haven't a clue what it is, so... Oh, yes I do. So, in addition to all of the totally cool, awesome crap I'm sending the baby, I'm sending her this. Please disregard the price, because that is so not what I paid for it. So it's DVDs, lots of DVDs, 17 of them, and it's got children's books on them. So it's got, like, the Hans Christian Andersen fairy tales, and it's got Goodnight Gorilla and Corduroy and all these stories on DVD. And they have, like, all of the illustrations. Like, I wish there was an example, but, anyway, it's got all the illustrations from the books, and you play them on the DVDs, and it reads them to you, and anyway, hours. It's like something like 20 hours or something like that of stories. It's something ridiculous. Yeah, 19 hours. 19 hours of stories. It's like I'm buying her 100 books, but I'm not. So, anyway, all of that coming soon. Anyway, I guess that's it. Like, there's nothing super fun to talk about. You know, my store is crazy, and the drunk people, and the... We had our local crazy person the other day decide that it would be alright if she, came in our store and she sat on the floor by the escalator and then pulled out a needle and shot heroin into her arm. That was fun. Yeah. Anyway, so that's, if I seem a little woo lately, that's, it's because I'm surrounded by these people. So, anyway, all you alls has fun, and I will try not to be such a video blogging slacker and do this more often, and have fun and enjoy your crappy 80-degree spring while I enjoy my awesome actual spring. The end.